Alright guys, when I built the El Camino Barracuda Not Mad station wagon, okay, I bought this kit just for the decals because the car that I originally had, the other Johan kit, didn't have the billboard decals on it. So I have this kit left over, which I just opened because I didn't even open the parts or nothing. I just used the decals from the kit. That was it for that other build. So today I'm thinking I'm going to combine this kit with this kit and make a Barracuda pickup. A Barracamino something. A Barramino. I don't know what I'm going to call it yet. So I'm going to attempt to chop off the front fenders and the whole front end and then swap it with the front end from this kit onto here. So far it all lines up pretty good. The doors are longer on the Cuda, so the front fender is going to stick out a little farther, so I may have to trim a little bit back here to let it sit right. I don't know how that's going to look though. It'll look kind of goofy. Not sure. With the Barracuda front end and the gills, and then basically the rest of it is the El Camino. It's not like cutting the back out like I did on that other kit to make the Nomad. I trimmed off all the hood and the trunk and everything. That was a little more drastic. But this one, excuse me, this one I'm thinking is going to be a quick build. Well, you know how that goes, right? So I'm going to give it a try. We'll see what happens. This kit was really meaningless to me, but this kit I've had for quite a few years. Let's see if I can get a date on it. 1996 this kit came out, guys, so I've had this kit 39 years. Is that right? No, 29 years. Sorry. Math is fun. So yeah, I've had that one for a little while, and like I said, I just picked this one up last year when I was building that Barracuda station wagon. So we'll see how it goes. I may change my mind midway and lob off the back end of this and put the back end of that on there. I don't know yet. Okay, the reason I was going to do just the front fenders is because of all of this is really nice. It fits in there good. And if I trimmed it off somewhere back here, I'd have to cut all this off and lose all of that. So I'm undecided. So I'll be back when I decide to make a decision. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Model Car Guy Rich. I'll be right back. Alright guys, so far all I'm doing is I drew a line down the body line where the door and the fenders meet, and I've just been taking a scribe tool and just slowly going at it. I didn't want to take a chance with my Dremel tool, the rotary tool, because of the curves of the fenders and that, so I want to just gradually creep up on it. And if I slipped at all, most of it went to the waist side anyway, so I'm okay with that. And I'll just have a little bit of sanding to do to get some of the extra marks out. But it's coming along well. I'm really surprised that it's working as well as it is. I'm just literally just scraping it along, and then eventually it works. You can see there it thins out to the point where it starts coming through. Excuse me. And we'll just keep at that until I get separation of the parts, and then I cut in a angle through here. I haven't done this one yet. I'm just real gentle cutting that because the shape of the Cuda hood fender goes over the hood fender. Yeah, you heard me. The fender lip right here that meets the windshield glass and all that is different than the El Camino. So I'm just going to work at it until I get that through, and I'll be back in a while and see how things progress. Alright guys, just a couple minutes later, I've continued to scrape through here until it was real thin, and then I just took my my sprue cutters and clip just a little thick part there. So now everything is going to just fold right up. I could have went a little better on this to thin it out, but I think we're going to be okay. So we'll just work that back and forth until it fatigues out. I'm leaving the cowl because the Barracuda doesn't have one that is attached to the body. It's a separate piece attached to the interior, I believe. So rather than go through that, I just figured I'd do this. So there we go. There we go. There's our two fenders that are still pretty decent shape. Could be used on another kit. Those will go in the parts bin. And now a little cleaning up here with some sandpaper, and then I will get the fenders off of this Barracuda and start molding them to the body, I guess is the only way I can think of it. I'll be using a lot of Mr. White Putty, I'm sure, to clean up the boo-boos, and we'll see where we go from there. So now I'm going to just repeat the steps I just did on this with the little scribe tool. I'm literally just going in the door crease and peeling that back, and now I need to make the waist this side because these are the good parts that are going to go on there. So I'll just slowly go at that and be done in a minute. Alright guys, so I've worked my way through the fenders and the front end of the Barracuda. So now those two pieces are separate. And the tricky part now is going to be fitting these two together, because the Barracuda kit is 1/24 scale and the AMT El Camino is 1/25 scale. So it's off a bit. You can see the difference in the width of the two. So now I have to figure out a way to trim the centers of this and bring them together so that they line up underneath. There's a good shot of it. You can see how much wider one is than the other. So after some math and, and figuring things out, I'll get back to putting this together. But that's kind of the basics of how it's going to look. It's a Barracuda El Camino. And if you see this video in 2025, then I successfully did it. If not, you'll never see this video. So, alrighty, back in a few. Alright guys, I scrapped that idea. I just couldn't deal with how much work it was gonna take, because the Barracuda front clip was all one piece, along with the front bumper and the fascia underneath, the valance and all that. It was all one piece. I thought they were separate, so it would have been easier to chip away little pieces of it to make it fit. So I scrapped that idea, and then the light came on and I decided, hey, I've got a couple of these laying around in the stash. And as you know, well, some of you may know already that this kit had, well, let's try that. This kit had separate fenders that you put onto the body. So I grabbed the fenders, and then I grabbed one of the spare front grills and that out of my parts bin, and I'm lining that up right now, and so far that's all working pretty good. I'm just going to put it on there, and I'll have to do some little I have to do some little trimming around the fender wells up on the, not the fender wells, the tops of the fenders, and that'll line up. And then the moldings on the bottom, the body lines, they line up almost perfect. So once this piece is trimmed away and slides in better, then we'll do the same on the passenger side or the driver's side, depending on which one I do first. And that one will fit on there somehow. We'll tape that up temporarily. And then the front grille and headlights and all that stuff are going to go on there just fine. Obviously a little bit of fine tuning here. The tape is not a permanent solution for model building, but it helps with mock-up. So there we go. We're gonna have a No-Camino, Nova and El Camino combo, guys. Let's see how this one goes to the end. I think I'm gonna put the blower motor from the Nova in this kit if it'll fit, and then probably use the hood from the El Camino. I'm not sure on that yet, because I think the Nova kit came with 2 hoods. Yes, there's another hood. So maybe I'll trim that one up, or I'll go in my parts bin and find a couple of spares, because I know I've got a couple of these in there, and maybe I'll just cut the top part off so that the motor sticks up through the hood to give it kind of this look. Can you see that? Yeah, to give it kind of that look, but with the Nova motor, which is this one, 454. So all right, it's hard for me to admit that I couldn't figure something out quickly and easily, but that Barracuda kit would have taken me probably a month to do, and I just don't want to devote that much time to that one. So I'll do it with the No-Camino, and we'll be good to go here, folks. Kind of a mild modification now, and not so drastic, but we'll see where it goes from there. You know, who knows, along the way I may throw the camper from this on there or something. I don't know yet. We'll see. Alrighty, I'll be back in a few. Well, guys, I gotta break out the Dremel for this one. I was trimming the cowl panel to accept the shape of the fender, okay, but the clippers, I clipped it and it pinched it with so much force that it actually broke the cowl panel. So now I'm going to do the other side with the Dremel and just gently cut right through it. So I thought I'd bring you along for that. Let me go ahead and get it set up here. It's been pretty exciting so far. I've really enjoyed doing something a little different, you know. I like it when I come up with ideas that I don't think anyone else has done, just because that's who I am. I just like to be different. So, I don't know if you can see it here. I'm going to put the Dremel on one, and then I'm going to cut out where I have the lines there just to accommodate the lip of the fender. Alright, I don't know if it's in shot here. Really? Well, I'm gonna have to wait, guys. I don't know if you've seen it pop off there. I had some crazy glue holding that together. It's not cured yet, so I'll have to wait. I'll come back when that dries, and I'll pick up where we left off. Alright, guys, it's been about an hour. I come back down and see if we can get this piece cut out. There we go. Just going to nip away a little bit here. Oh, now it didn't hold. I'll have to re-glue it. I want to take a chance of snapping it off, and it'll be really hard to line it up proper. So I'll go ahead and hit that with some CA glue and get back to just chewing that little piece out. So far this has been the longest part of the whole project, waiting on this piece to dry. So be back again. Alright, guys, so it's been a couple of days since I started this project. I've built a couple other things, but I literally just finished watching the previous edits of the build to see where I left off. I ended up getting the cowl glued on nicely. I put a little bit of putty up in the corners there. I'll have to sand that down when the time comes. I attached the fenders from the Nova, and I used little pieces of evergreen just to hold them in place, give them some support. And then next I grabbed the rear bumper and grill and all that stuff from the back panel of the Nova, and I am molding it into this part of the El Camino. I traced around where I set it where I wanted it, then I traced around, cut all that out with the Dremel tool, and now the tape is actually helping me form the body panels inward on the bottom because they stuck out a little bit on the El Camino. So I used a heat gun to soften them up a bit, and then I'm pushing those in, and then once that kind of sets, I'll take the bumper off and dechrome it, and then fill in with some body filler. This up here was where the original El Camino taillights were. They'll now be part of the Nova taillight, but then I'll fill that in, sand it down, and get that to form real nice, give it a nice custom look. So far it's coming along. I did notice that the hood from the Nova is going to be short. If you can see, it kind of sits right about there, and there's a big space behind it. So I may just go with the no hood option and see what kind of firewall detail I get off of the El Camino kit. Or I'll search in my parts bin for another firewall or build one out of plastic. I don't know yet. But I finally got the fenders on there. The tape is just temporary, obviously. It helped to hold the pieces in while they're drying. But I glued them on earlier today. This one here come out almost perfect. I'll have to do a little bit of touch up right there, but that's okay. Not a big deal. And then once I get the front bumper in to help align things, it'll be much better too, because it's tilted just a little bit right now. But that's the update so far, and you know, this is going to be kind of a long video. I apologize for that, but you know, it is what it is. So we will be back in just a quick second. Alright guys, so the front end of the Nova interferes with the chassis when it lines up in the body and everything. When it's all together, I have to trim off a bit of this front end here. So what I did was I put a straight line across the back, and then I'm just going to trim it off with the old Dremel tool. So it should go fairly quick, but I thought I'd let you know that was part of the deal. I'll do that real quick. So that went really quick. I just pop that little piece off, do some filing or sanding, whatever, right there, and then once it's in place, then the front end of the Nova will line up inside the body, and it won't interfere with that. So that'll be cool. Another little minor adjustment. So here you go, guys. It's just been a couple of hours. I'll take it off. We'll look inside. And most of it is off. There we go. Oops. There we go. Now literally just rub it with paper towel and takes it right off. Pretty amazing. There you go. I'll have to get a Q-tip out and get around the little crevices and that, but it's all good to go. I also dipped the carburetor, alternator, and the master cylinder, which I didn't think should be chrome. So, alright, let me get that taken care of, and I'll be back again. Well, there it is, folks. That is the No-Camino. It's a Chevy Nova front end, blended into a 65 El Camino rear end, I just threw the camper on there for giggles. So it would take the camper off. We'll see how the rear end is Nova molded in. I don't know if I can give you a close-up of that. Nah, it will not focus. But the Nova rear end has been grafted into the, there you go, into the El Camino. I de-chromed it. I don't know if I mentioned it earlier in the video. I de-chromed the rear section of the Nova and blended it into the body of the El Camino. Came out pretty decent. I'm very happy with it. This would be one up in the front of the shelf somewhere. So there you have it, folks. I appreciate your time. Hope you enjoyed this one. It was a lot of fun. And I appreciate you for stopping by. Thank you to all the new subscribers. I appreciate it. Help me grow this channel. I'm having a blast. I hope you're enjoying my content. I want to wish you all safe and happy holidays. And I will see you on the next one. This is Model Car Guy Rich out. Keep on modeling.